Well, here's a video I wasn't expecting to make anytime soon. As some of you may know, especially if you're Bearing fans who just saw his name and you had to come here, especially since I'm the guy who did say fuck you to him in the past, and you know, that kind of still stands like it always has, because Bearing really is a dickhead. But you'll notice that the term that I searched up, Total Drama Island Bears. Now, I may be American and this may be a Canadian show, but I was a big fan of it when it was on. So, I of course caught it the first time I ever saw his icon, but I never pointed it out because as an anarchist, I am not in favor of the copyright system, of course, selling stuff, like making a profit off of someone else's intellectual property. I do think that is rather despicable. But just in general, the idea that if you even mimic it, but look at what the bears look like. Look familiar? So yeah, Bearing has been DMCA'd, all of his videos have been DMCA'd, and he is claiming that it is feminists who are doing it. Now, I don't know if the company who did it are feminists. I forget what the name of the company is, but I'm pretty sure that there's actually a great copyright case here. And again, there's a reason this video is called In Defense of Bearing. I know the shock and horror of feminists here to defend Bearing. Yeah, I am not defending him because his channel got down. I could really care less. But I do think YouTube's priorities and the priorities are pretty fucked up on this, which is why I'm calling it out. So it's more clickbait to say in defense of Bearing. So I think that Bearing definitely, his bullying went way too far. As much as he tries to claim it wasn't bullying, his audience would target and harass people whom he had responded to in videos. Now, regardless of whether or not he actually leaves the link in there, isn't the big deal, but the fact is that he has used incendiary rhetoric in order to get people really angry at whatever feminist YouTuber he is responding to, making them sound like they are Satan themselves. So, that's why I am saying that Bearing's a bully. But this video isn't about that. This video is just an excuse for me to really lay into capitalism on this one. Because, you know, I gotta do that sometime. It does say anarchist in the title, you know, like an anarcho-communist. I mean, it's in the description of my channel, for fuck's sake. Yeah. Okay. Now, after that, fake outrage. So, the reason why I will definitely say that I think YouTube's priorities were fucked up on this. The fact that he digs into the profits of corporations. Of course, I do think it is rather scummy that he was selling products with an image that he clearly didn't draw that was in a big cartoon. I mean, that's just absolute, like, there's no artistic integrity there. Like, that's just you making a buck on someone else's IP. Now, again, I'm not a big fan of the copyright system, but that doesn't mean that I don't believe in artists at least trying to make sure that their picture is different. I mean, if you saw the picture that... if you saw those pictures of the Total Drama Island bears, they all looked like the bear that Bearing has, the avatar that Bearing has. But again, I did not want to call attention to it, but I did figure it out pretty early on as a Total Drama Island fan, especially since I've actually been going back recently and watching episodes of Total Drama Island, which is a really funny show. I suggest that you watch it. But yeah, Bearing, I know you're a fan of Total Drama, mate, but yeah, you really fucked up on this one. So you can't complain about feminists shutting you down, because this isn't a case of feminists shutting you down. This is a case of capitalism shutting you down. So YouTube's priorities, I think, are fucked up, because bullying, just fine, we tolerate that. Oh, but you better fucking not cut into the profits of big companies. These big companies pay us lots. I mean, I kind of understand that there is the law that they do have to contend with, but I mean, YouTube colludes with these big companies. And that's where you get the whole, hashtag YouTube is over party and all that shit. Is you have these copyright issues, or not these copyright issues, these business issues. The fact that businesses don't want to advertise their products on, I don't know, let's say Davis MJ or Reenie's videos, because, well, Davis is clearly a misogynist, a racist. I mean, he practically has admitted that he's a racist. I mean, the guy calls himself a white nationalist on paper, of course, as opposed to what, on stone? Of course, I know that white nationalist on paper means that he's not planning on committing genocide, but he still thinks that white people are superior. So, maybe someone with dickish views like that, maybe a company wouldn't want to be associated with that image. Companies definitely don't like being associated with Nazis, neo-Nazis, Klansmen. There are some, like, right-wing companies that wouldn't care, but even people who are conservative try to distance themselves from these aspects. So, of course, you have these companies that don't want to be associated with these people. They want to be kept away from them. They want to be kept away from controversial figures such as TJ, who has said some very misogynistic shit over the years. And whether or not you agree with me is completely irrelevant to whether the company should do it or not, because the company itself, they use numbers to guide them. They're not doing it because he's a misogynist. They're doing it because their sales go down when they're associated with someone like TJ due to the controversy. And of course you have the hashtag YouTube is over party that was going on about how YouTube is being ruined by SJWs. But remember, again, you can say that Cat Black is a terrible person. I definitely disagree with you, and I'd point it out, and whether or not I agree is completely irrelevant to a company, because a company will see that when a brand is associated with Cat Black, even slightly, just because an ad was played over her video, that can still cause their sales to decline and can dip into their profits. So and that's what caused the YouTube is over party, is YouTube's collusion with these big companies who want to optimize their profits. So they're going to make sure they can target the least controversial videos, the videos that even if people don't watch them, people don't associate them with negative things, because if PewDiePie had, I don't know, gotten charged with child molestation or accused of it, I think a lot of his sponsors and a lot of the advertisements, the money that he rakes in from these companies would go down, because he's now become a controversial figure, regardless of whether or not he actually did it, which chances are, if he's being accused of it, most of the time these people, especially we've had it with the gaming YouTubers who get, who end up getting accused of child molestation. especially the Minecraft YouTubers, but that's completely off topic. So, while it seems like this is unrelated, here's how it ties in. The fact that a company did not want its IP to be used, and the fact that YouTube is, well, one, they have to contend with the law, but they're also very gung-ho about it because YouTube is a business. It is capitalism, and it functions just like capitalist society does. And that is why Bering was DMCA'd, and that's what I think it's wrong. Not that he was shut down. I mean, I think he should have been shut down for violation of YouTube community guidelines, but definitely not for this copyright, for cutting into the profits of a big company. You know, and that is my defense of Bering, which in a way almost painted him in a negative light through part of it, because yeah, it's clear I really don't like Bering. I think he's a prick. He's an absolute bell-end knob. I mean, whatever you want to call him, whatever your slang word for dick is in your neck of the woods. But he's definitely a knob, bell-end, asshole. I think he called Michael a fuckhead, which I think is one of my favorite insults, just by the sound of it, fuckhead. But off topic. So that is my kind of defense of Bering, is that I really don't think that the issue he's being charged for is an actual issue. I think that the issue he's dealing with is, I think that the issue that he should be dealing with has gone unaddressed way too long, or when I say unaddressed, I mean by actual YouTube executives, not by other YouTubers, the aforementioned Michael Rowlands, Kevin Logan, Demotivator Opinion. They have all talked to him. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a bit long, but I will have another video out probably sometime this week.